Welcome to Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. Today I'm going to show you how to fix a stuck or seized caliper pin. And those can be problematic, and we're going to go into some of the symptoms that a bad one can cause and then how to fix it. Let's go ahead and get started. So here's what we're dealing with. This one here on the bottom is a good one, and I'll show you. Normally you can push it and it's soft because it needs to have some give in there. You don't want it locked up, as is the case with this one up here. Push that. This thing is completely seized, and what's happening as a result is we're having the brakes wearing really wacky on this side, and I'll show you a comparison. So these are the brakes that came off of the driver's side. We're doing a brake job here. If you want to see a video I did on how to do your own brakes, you can check that out via the link above. I'll also have it down in the description. But this is what came off on that side. So if we put it like that, this is what came off on this side. Or actually, this is probably a more accurate comparison. Look at that. Completely worn off. Same with this one, the inner one, because that was the outer one. Here's the inner one. Driver's side, passenger side, completely gone. That's an indication that you have a stuck caliper pin. A lot of times you have the uneven wear. But as we saw, another clear indication is the thing's obviously stuck. So let's go over and we'll free it up and lubricate it and get it working again. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and get this wrench, put it on it. We're going to go ahead and just keep rotating it so we can loosen it up, because the goal is to free it up so we can pull it out, lubricate it, and then put it back in. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out, and then we'll be back to lubricate it. And I'll show you again. Thing is stuck as opposed to this one. Depending on your access, it may be easier just to take the rail off, which I'm doing right here. This is the one that's seized. Then this one here was the good one. What I'm going to do, just take a hammer and just tap it down so we can get it to compress. There we go. Kind of loosen it, and now kind of pull it out a little bit. So it's not springing back up as easy as it should, but it's a little looser. So what I'm going to do, we're going to pull this boot down, pull it out as far as we can, put some lubricant grease in there, and see if we can't work it out. Now keep in mind, if these things are locked, your brakes, because you figure as this is in place, it's going to do this, that's seized, so it's also going to push them on an angle, so you could have your car leaning to one side when you brake. That's not a good thing either. So let me go ahead and we're going to pull this, kind of work it a little bit like that, and then let's pull the boot down, see what's going on. Pull that up. You notice it's moving a lot better than it did already. Just from banging it down, I was kind of working that, just kind of free it up a little bit. And these things here, as they get older, get dirty, things like that, that can seize up. That's why when you do your brakes, it's important to check all this. But even right here, it's already working a little bit better. Still not as good as that one, but a little bit better. So let's pull that up, slide the boot down, so we can see that. Whoops, here we are. Pull that out. Let's go ahead and lubricate that real good, and then we'll work it back in. What I did is I cleaned it off real good, just in case there was any dirt and junk on there. Then we went ahead and saturated that with a synthetic brake type grease. So now what I'm going to do is slide it back into that sleeve, put the boot back on it, and see how freely it moves now. It's already looking better. It's moving about as free as that one. So I'm going to work it in a little bit more, and then we'll be back to see how we've got it, and then put it back on. I have everything loosened and I've reattached the rail back here. You can see this is the one on the bottom. I'll show you here. See how it springs back? Now we come to the one here on top. That one springs back. That one springs back as well. So everything is good with that. Now what I did notice is that on this one there is a little leak in the boot, so this one has to be replaced. And this is really just kind of like a temporary fix. If you're working on your brakes, you see that one of the caliper pins is seized up, you definitely want to loosen that. You don't want to put new brakes on there with that bad pin on there, because then it'll wear uneven. But ultimately what you want to do is get that replaced, and that's probably an indication that you want to replace your other ones as well, because they could be getting old, dirty, and not functioning properly. So that wraps up this video on how to free up and temporarily fix a seized or stuck caliper pin. I hope this video was informative for you and helped you out. Please send me any questions, comments. I would love to hear from you. As always, I appreciate all the support. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time.